Hey, good evening, good evening. Good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. It's so funny because I can see that I have, so it's a slight delay, right? It's a slight delay from, it's just a slight delay. So I can see how I look to you guys when I'm looking at the screen to see if my live is coming on. Hey, Miss Renetta. Hey, Renetta. Good evening, millionaire. Hey, Connie. Good evening, millionaire. Lady, good evening, millionaire. Okay, millionaires, do me a favor while I get my keys out the way. Go ahead, put in the comments, good evening, millionaire. Let us know where you are calling in from, right? It's always lovely, right, to find out where our millionaire-minded family is from all over the nation. Let me plug up my computer before it dies. I got my cord. Good evening, millionaire. Hey, Stephanie, my young millionaire. I miss you, girl. I miss you. Good evening, millionaire. That's one of my genius kids. Good evening, millionaire. Okay, right, so go ahead and put in the comments. Hey, LaTanya, Ava, Brian, and Tony. Good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaires. So do me a favor, millionaires. Yes, LaTanya got it right on the head. Go ahead, put in the comments. Let us know where you are calling from. Ohio. Okay, we see you, lady. Right, so put in the comments. Hey, Jacques Brown, girl, we gotta catch up. Hey, good evening, millionaire. Glad you are on the broadcast feed. We got Season, we got James Betts. Good evening, millionaires. So go ahead, put in the comments, good evening, millionaires. Let us know where you are calling in from, right? If this is your first time joining us, let me be the first person to inform you that we greet each other by millionaires. Why? Because everything happens 3 times, right? First time in your mind, okay? That's why we're millionaire minded, right? You have to be a millionaire in your mind before you can be a millionaire, in your bank account. Okay, so we always say good evening, millionaire. So you got to have everything happens 3 times. First time in your mind. The second time is on paper. You always want to write your goals down and make them plain. And then the third time is in execution. So I'm in my execution phase. So go ahead. Hey, I see we got millionaires from Texas, Indianapolis, Philly, Illinois, New Jersey. Good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. Two more things. Make sure that you guys join us, right? You can subscribe and join our free text message service on personal growth and self-development. We send out all types of cool tips and tricks about success in hopes that you get further and faster and with less effort, which is also the purpose of this broadcast, as well as what we do in the morning on Good Morning Millionaire. So if somebody could put in the comments how they can join Dear Millionaire, period, right? It's super simple. Put that in the comments for me, please, millionaires. That would be awesome. If not, it's in the caption of the you know what I mean? It's in the caption. Okay, how you guys can join Dear Millionaire. So make sure you check us out. Also, make sure that you guys go to AmmaTheCPA.com. It's all cool stuff on there. Thank you, LaTanya. Thank you, LaTanya. On AmmaTheCPA.com, it's a cool video series on increasing your cash flow. Now, I do want to hurry up because I don't want to run out of time with this new W-4. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you are just joining us, what we're going to do right now, we're going to run through the brand new, okay, the brand new W-4 from number 45, right? Donald Trump. So this W-4 is going to take into consideration the new tax changes, right? The new tax law. So what happens is, that didn't work. Where did that thing go? Let me minimize this. So what happens is, millionaires, is that your W-4, basically, that's what you fill out most times when you get a new job, right? You fill that out, and then they're like, okay, it tells you how much you want to how it lets your, okay, here we go. So what the W-4 does is it lets your employer know how much money to withhold from you and give to the government. Okay, so that's why, you know, it's called like the employee withholding allowance form, okay? And it's just short for W-4. So let me adjust this so hopefully you guys can see it. And then we will just run through this thing. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if I can make some of this stuff a little bit bigger. Okay, yes. So I'll be adjusting it and kind of playing with it, making sure that you guys can see it. So good evening, millionaires. One more thing before we go ahead and get started. Please make sure that you share the broadcast. Okay, now, even if you have already adjusted your W-4 for 2018, right, which is now, okay, it came out last week. So if you've already adjusted your W-4 and you know this information, that's awesome. Go you, right? But a lot of people don't know it. So you want to make sure that you share this broadcast. You want to share it on your personal page as well as in different groups that you are in. And you know what? I don't even think that I said that I am AmmaTheCPA, which means that I am a licensed, registered, certified public accountant. I'm certified to help the public, okay, when it comes to different accounting needs. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first thing I want to point out is right here, right, the purpose. Okay, the purpose is to complete Form W-4 so that your employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new Form W-4 each year when your personal financial situation changes, right? So we're changing this not necessarily because our personal financial situation changed, but we're updating this because the tax laws changed, okay? The tax laws changed, so we want to make sure that we cover this. One more thing that I want to go over, right, because so many of us, especially in our community, we always want to claim exempt, okay, which I actually have a video somewhere about why you never, ever want to claim exempt, so you can check that out. But real quick, before we get started, or actually this is getting started. Good evening, millionaire. It's right here on the form. So exemption from withholding. So this is telling you when you can claim exempt. Only if both of these apply, right? So for 2017, you had a right to a refund of all your federal income tax withheld because you had no tax liability. So let me explain. Just because you get a refund does not mean that you did not have a tax liability. What that means is, in most cases, what that means is that you had a tax liability, but they took out too much. So if you look at your 1040, it may say, you know, maybe they took out $1,000 and then your tax was only $500 or something like that. You know, they took out $4,000, but your taxes were $3,500. So that does not qualify for claiming exempt. The second thing is for 2018, you expect a refund of all your federal income tax because you expect to have no tax liability. So what that means, no tax liability, meaning that you are completely exempt. So people, check out my video on who's exempt, right? It's mostly college kids, okay? But we're going to go ahead and moving right along so I can get you guys this information. So you can see that this W-4 is changed a lot. It has a lot of rules and stuff like that, right? To make sure that everybody is filling this out correctly. Now, most times this is what your job will give you. A lot of times your job only gives you this part, okay? And then you just put down like, oh, you got 2 kids, let me put a number 2, and then you're done. But that is incorrect, millionaires. That's incorrect. So let me show you what you want to do. Okay, so we're scrolling down. Now this thing has 4 pages, okay? So don't worry about the instructions because why? I read them for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started on page 3. So millionaires, follow along. This can be found starting tomorrow. You'll be able to find this, and maybe even this evening. It's going to be updated on the We Are Millionaire Minded site. So if somebody could put that in the comments, and I'll make sure that it's updated. You can go to wearemillionaireminded.com and go to the freebies section, and this will be there for 2018. Okay, you can go to the freebies section and print this out so you can follow along, or you can shoot me an inbox and I can make sure that you get this updated form. Okay, good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. So the first thing that you want to do is enter a number 1 for yourself, right? A lot of times people skip this part because they don't even, you don't even think about actually claiming yourself. And that's why we want to really go through and break down the W-4 so you can see exactly how you should be filling this out, especially taking into consideration the new tax changes. Right. And one more thing I do want to go over is just know that the goal is to not have too much tax taken out and not have too little. Okay. The goal is really to break even. Because what a refund is your money coming back to you. So you don't really want a refund. So you fill this out because what happens is you fill this out correctly. You have more access to your money during the year. Okay, millionaires, you really want your money during the year. So moving right along. So if somebody could put an A in the comments for me, please put a number A. Put an A in the comments and give me a share. Good evening, millionaires. A in the comments and share it. So you want to enter a number 1 for yourself. So give me a B. Put B, the letter B, in the comments and share the broadcast. Put the letter B in the comments and share the broadcast. You want to enter number 1 if you file as married filing jointly. Okay, so let's say in our example, I can use myself as an example. I'm not married. Or let's say I'm a single mom with 2 kids, okay? Let's say that that's my example. So, not married. So, you want to say 0 for married filing joint. Now, C. Give me a number C in the comments. Good evening, millionaires. Put a number C. Put a number. Put the letter C in the comments. And if you are just joining us, then welcome to yet another edition of Good Evening Millionaire. Make sure you turn on your notifications. As soon as you join the broadcast, it should be somewhere. You turn on your notifications. You can also mark me as See It First so you can see all my stuff. I always post cool stuff about finances and money and stuff like that. Somewhat of a financial expert, right? So you want to make sure that you put my stuff as See It First and then turn on your notifications. Make sure that you participate in the broadcast, even if you are joining us late or watching the replay. Welcome to the replay. Okay, so C, enter number 1 if you file as head of household, right? You want to enter number 1. So in our example, we're using a single mom with 2 kids. Can somebody put that in the comments for me? A single mom with 2 kids is the example that we are using. If you need me to help you fill out your own, right? Then just shoot me an inbox. I will be more than happy, okay? I love helping people win, right? So enter number 1 if you're head of household. So head of household, let me say really quickly, head of household does not mean that, yes, you are running your own household, right? But for you to qualify in the eyes of the IRS, in the eyes of the government as head of household, what that means is that you have to have a qualifying dependent. And so what is a qualifying dependent? Is somebody that you are paying more than 50% or more of their upkeep, and they live with you, right? More than 50% of upkeep for them, right? So if somebody is living in your house, but y'all splitting the bills 50-50, then they gonna file their taxes, you gonna file your taxes. That does not make you head of household because your name is on the lease. If you are married and you are the man of the house and you're like, I run this house, does not make you head of household, right? Or if you're the woman of the house and you make all the money or most of the money, that does not make you head of household. What makes you head of household is what I just said, qualifying dependent, somebody that is in your house and you're taking care of 50% or more for them, okay? So in our example, again, right, it's a single mom with 2 kids. So D, put the letter D in the comments and give me a share. Put the letter D in the comments and give me a share. Good evening, millionaires. Okay, so for D, enter number 1 if you're single or married filing separately and you only have 1 job. So in our example, yes, this person is a single mom. Okay, but just to continue, you also want to enter number 1 if you're married filing jointly. Okay, you're married filing jointly. This is where I'm reading line number 2. I don't know why it's not highlighting just that line. But you have only 1 job and your spouse does not work. Or, right, your wages from your second job or your spouse's wages or the total of both are $1,500 or less. So that's basically like, how sometimes you have part-time jobs and, and stuff like that. So that's what that is. So let me see, because I took some notes. I want to make sure that I cover everything for you guys. Okay, so E, give me a number. Give me the letter E and a share. Give me the letter E and a share. Now, this is one of the main things that changed with this new W-4, because a lot of you guys know, especially if you've been following me and you've seen my previous videos on the tax changes before they were law, right? So I did a couple videos before they were law. I did some videos after, right? The child tax credit was a big thing. That was one of the major changes. From number 45, right? Or Donald Trump. So this is really big for people with kids. So you definitely want to make sure that you go back and you adjust your W-4 and you take care of this sooner rather than later, right? So make sure that you revisit this video, you share the broadcast, not only on your personal page, but also in different groups that you are in. Each one teach one, we can change the world. Okay, millionaires? So put the letter E in the comments. This is the child tax credit. Now, basically, okay, of course it says you can see publication 972, blah, blah, blah. But what is the child tax credit? So basically, if you have a dependent that is living with you for more than half of the year, right? So this definitely applies for kids that are in college, because even though they'll be in college and stuff like that, right, they're still your kids, et cetera, but they are under 17, so maybe not college. I take that back, because you're like, what? I was 17 when I went to college, but then I turned 18. So like that, right? So really, this is kids that are under 17, and then they have to pass the dependency test, right? Which is in living with you for at least half of the year, more than half of the year. Okay, so, and if you've qualified for child tax credit in the past, and basically just think about, is your kid 17 as of December? At the end of the year, will your kid be 17 or less? Okay. So just think about it like that. At the end of the tax year, will your kid be 17 or less? Then you want to go ahead and fill this out, okay? So make sure that you guys give me an E and a share, right? We're going through the child tax credit on the W-4. So if your total income will be less than $69,801, okay, $69,801 for single, or $101,401 if you are married filing jointly. If you are not familiar with these numbers, like, it's all just an estimate, and you kind of know how much you make anyway, especially like you're salaried, right? You kind of know where you fall into. So $69,808 if you're single, right? $101,401 for married filing jointly. This is for the child tax credit. You want to enter for each eligible child. Okay, so in our example, well, I'm going to read them and then I'm going to go back to our example. If your income will be anywhere from 69,801 to 175, right? For single, 69,801 to 175. So if you're more than that so if you're making $70,000, then you don't want to do this first one. Okay, so 69,801 to 175, then or 101 to 339, then you want to go ahead, you enter number 2, and you know where your income falls, millionaires. Okay, if your total income is 175,551 to 200,000 or 339 to 400,000, if Mary found a joint, then you enter a number 1. Okay, if your income is greater than 200,000 or 400,000, if Mary found it jointly, then you enter 0. You do not get to take this exemption. So in our example, we're going to say she's making $65,000 with 2 kids. So if total income, right, so then that means she's falling right here. She has her 2 kids. So you say 4 times each eligible kid. We already said that she has 2. Right? So now we have 4 times 2, so we put an 8 right there. Okay? Because it says enter 4 for each eligible child. Okay? Moving right along, millionaires. Credit for other dependents. Now, other dependents. So this is where your college kids are going to come into play. This is basically your dependents that are over 17. So give me an F and a share. Give me an F and you share the broadcast on your personal page. Give me an F and you share the broadcast on in any groups that you are in as well. So this is where you want to take into consideration any dependents that are over 17 years old, okay? So the same income kind of things apply, right? So 69,801 if single, 101,401 if married, okay? More than 69, all the way up to 175, right? So you kind of want to look at this and see where you fall in before our example, and for the sake of time, right? We are putting a 0 in F. Okay, G. Now G, let me explain. G, give me the letter G and a share. Give me the letter G and a share. Good evening, millionaires, and welcome to the broadcast, or welcome to the replay if you're joining the replay. If you're just now joining us, then welcome to the broadcast. We are reviewing the brand new 2018 W4. Okay, so G. Now, other credits. Now, it's like if you have other credits, see worksheet 1 through 6 of publication 501. But let me explain what that is, because they like to make stuff extra, extra hard. But don't fret, my pets, right? AmmaTheCPA is here. Okay, so G, what is G? Basically, other credits that you may have would be like the earned income credit. So you know if you qualify for earned income credit, if you can get the earned income credit, if you have gotten it in the past, then you can go to that other worksheet and fill that out. But for the sake of time, right, and the sake of this video and keeping it simple for everybody, we'll skip this part. We'll act like this person does not receive earned income credit and put a 0 right here. However, if you do, then you definitely want to go to that other worksheet. And like I said, reach out to me. I'm always here to help. You go to your human resources department, they aren't going to help you. They're going to tell you put down a number 2. They're going to say, you got 2 kids, put a number 2. You got 3 kids, put a number 3. Don't listen to them because they will mess you up. Okay? I won't mess you up. So now this is really the end of like for kind of regular day-to-day kind of stuff, right? So now you want to add lines. The H is add lines A through G. Okay, so what do we have? So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so now we have 11 on our A through G. Now we got 11, which means that we are claiming 11 allowances. So if we were stopping here, right, we're going to stop here on this video, but I do want to point out a couple other things. If we were stopping here, 11 is what you will fill out on this form here, right? 11 is what you would fill out on this. So, of course, you would come back here. You put your name, your full name, blah, 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 address, and all this stuff. And then number 5 is like the total number of allowances that you are claiming. So then you would put that 11 right there. Fill in all this personal information, and this is what you'll submit. Again, we are reviewing the brand new 2018 W-4. But also what I want to just point out to you, like I said, you definitely want to get with somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, especially when it comes to these other worksheets like this earned income credit and stuff like that. That's on G, any other credits, because it's a whole separate worksheet. Again, your human resources department is not going to know that. Right here, if you plan to itemize your deductions or claim adjustments to income, that's also another worksheet, millionaire. So again, that you would fill this out right here, right? Deductions and adjustments, additional income. One of the reasons why I always tell people why they need to have a home-based business is because of this section right here. This section right here, you get to fill this out even if you don't itemize your deductions, because it says or claim adjustments to income, right? You get to fill this out, which means you get even more allowances. You will get even more allowances, which means what? More money in your pocket. Okay, so when we say stuff like, oh, you know, the home-based business, you get to write off all this stuff and stuff like that, you don't have to wait until the end of the year to reap the benefits of that, right? So this is one of the first things that we'll always do. This is why I always tell people they need to, or one of the reasons why they need to desperately start a home-based business. So we aren't going to go through this right now because, again, it will take too much time and everybody does not have a home-based business. If you are interested in getting more money in your pocket and really taking advantage of these tax laws from Donald Trump, because at first, just so you guys know, at first it used to be smart for you to have a home-based business, but now it's almost like it's dumb for you not to, okay? The way that he set this thing up, it really, really affects the middle class, and you really want to take advantage of this, you know, and just be on the right side of the tax law, the right side of these business deductions and stuff like that, and really take advantage so you can see more of your money and really just be on track for your personal financial success. Okay, so this is basically, just like I said, deductions, adjustments, and additional income worksheet for home-based businesses and when you itemize your deductions. Okay, and then we have another worksheet for if you have multiple jobs and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, right, that's just about it for this broadcast this evening. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm just scrolling back to the top. Scrolling back to the top. Again, you can find this this worksheet at wearemillionaireminder.com under the freebie section, or shoot me an inbox and I can make sure that you guys get this. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. My name is Amma the CPA, right? Your favorite CPA's favorite CPA. Let me see what I'm talking about tomorrow before I let you guys go. Business credit tips. So all my business owners out there, and tips that we'll be going over, tips increasing your business credit, because when you have good business credit, you can get good business funding, and I can help with that too, and you know, some of my awesome business partners as well. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared the video, reach out to me. You have any questions or comments or concerns, and I can look out for you or any of my amazing business partners. And tomorrow we'll be going over business credit tips so you guys can make sure that your business is also off to a great start, and get your business funding and get that stuff going, which of course, you know, we are millionaire minded. We help out with that too. So I will see you guys soon. Good evening, millionaire. Amma the CPA. Talk to you. Oh, make sure that you subscribe to Dear Millionaire. You join us. Somebody put that in the comments for me, please. And then make sure you guys check out AmmaTheCPA.com. If somebody could put that in the comments for me too as well. Each one teach one, we can change the world. It's not important to me how you make your money, how you make a living, and all that good stuff. It's just important to me that what you do with it, and that's your life, millionaires. So good evening, millionaire. I'll see you guys tomorrow.